Start live. All right, we're live.
All right.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have Brian on here tonight with us, and hopefully Dawn. I feel it's going to be a good show tonight. Now, Dawn, I'm repeating myself. Yeah. All right, Dawn, you're going to go back to my YouTube page. It's the only way you're going to get on here. You still there, Brian?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. Just making sure that I muted the pop out with so that I'm not hearing myself twice.
Yeah, I could do the same thing. It'll take a few minutes to get it going.
Yeah.
We got lots of time, so.
Sounds good.
The young fellow hasn't been around a few nights either. But there, Dylan. Dylan comes on to read the chat sometimes for me.
Well, I got it kind of split screen, so I got the chat going and the video going as well. So.
Excuse me. Yeah, I done lots of pre-runs to get the people on too.
Yeah, quite a good crowd last night too.
Huh? What's this? There's some overcooked chicken. Well, the first one I done with Stuart, we had over 100. You know, that was.
Oh, both of you guys together have a pretty big following. So.
Good day, Matt.
What's up, Matt?
When I'm not trapping Matt, I'm thinking about trapping.
You got any sets out right now, Timber?
No, I don't.
I got my 2 otter sets, and I dropped it. I put a third one in today, and probably put another one in tomorrow, all in the same area. The otters actually came in last night and missed all my traps, so trying to plug up the loose holes.
Are you still around there, Dawn?
Nah, Matt, my season's over, I think April 10th. It's right around mid-April. Water line's open until then with the rats, mink, otter, beaver, and then coyotes and March 31st. But I have my nuisance license, so I can trap year round. I just release all my out of season catches unless it's a nuisance call. So
Maybe Brian, if you told Dawn how to get to my YouTube PM, you'd understand it better.
Yeah. Hey Dawn, if you go to your Gmail, your Google Mail, you can when you look in your social tab, you'll see an email with a link sent by Timberline. and you click on that link, follow the instructions.
No, it's not sent to him yet because I can't get a hold of him.
Ah. Did you message him with it?
I can't.
You can't. I don't actually use any bait mat. I do all mine in bank dens, plugging up the entrance and exit they got coming into the culvert, and dam run sets, where they're crossing over the dams. So they're kind of blind sets, but I know they're traveling there, so that's how I do all mine. I don't bait or have any bait for the otter.
I always found old beaver houses were good for otter.
Yep.
I caught a lot of otter that way.
Let me try to pull up Don. Oh, he doesn't have. It looks like he's all set up to be private. Don's page. So, like, you can't message him or do anything like that.
You gotta fix your channel up, Don. Yeah, there's no options on his channel whatsoever. This channel has no content.
Yeah. Try to get everything back to where it needs to be.
But my channel is open, Don. Like I say, all you got to do is go under my screen and click about, and it's going to take you right to the messages.
Yes, James. Otter it's not necessarily hard to skin, to case skin, but once you get down to the tail when you're fleshing it out, if you don't make the slices to try to take the 2 tubes of fat and fold them over, you're gonna end up ripping the tail like I actually did with my last one. So that's where otter becomes a pain in the butt, is when you go to skin the tail.
I clean skin a lot of my otters. I don't flesh them if I got the time. And for the tail, I skin it too. I don't use the fleshing knife on the tail. I skin it with a sharp knife and do my best. Well, I'm telling you to try it again, Don. It's there. You just got to do it.
There, Don, I'm gonna pull it up and walk it with you step by step. Let's see. When you go to Timberline's homepage, you're going to see his banner, Timberline North, and it's going to say Home, Videos, Playlist, Channels, Discussion, and About. You click on About. And then it's going to say Send Message. Or on the left side, it's going to have his subscribers, his description, and on the right side of that, there's going to be a flag and a button that says Send Message. When you click Send Message, something will pop up and you just send him a message.
And when you send that message to me, I will reply with the link to join. And how about you, Matt? Would you like to come on tonight? So what got you in YouTube, Brian?
I've been watching the Trappers Chats up on Norm's channels for a couple, since he started them, a couple months. And when I, got invited to go on last week, he asked if I had any videos up at all. And I hadn't. So when him and I got done doing the test run, I brought the camera out and just gave it a whirl, and seems to be working so far. So.
Oh yeah, it was a slow start though,
Oh yeah. Yep.
It took me a long time to get my first 1,000.
Oh, I bet. Hey Matt, that's a great way to spend your Valentine's Day weekend, watching Trappers Chat and not hanging out with the girlfriend, right?
That's where he is.
Yeah. So if you're one thing for you, Matt, if your bait's freezing outside, if you got good enough water in there, try a bucket set. Sink it to the bottom and try doing that. I know Timberline's got a couple of good videos on his otter buckets that he's made, and I'm sure that'll steer you in the right direction.
Yeah, go watch some videos. Yeah, use them, Matt. They work.
I haven't tried them out myself yet. I just do the blind sets. Probably a little too late in the year for me to start doing that, but I'll definitely give it a go next year.
Any dam crossovers too. Once you take all the beaver of the colony, they'll catch otters all the time.
Well, I still got the beavers that are there, and it's at the video where I did my my first beaver and otter trapping one with that's my one trap I got going at that crossover. The other two that are up above are all frozen over, and the beavers aren't moving outside the den at all. So.
Oh yeah. And Matt, as long as you got 4 feet of water to put your bucket into, doesn't matter if it ices over or not. The trick is to try to get it set somewhere where they're going to find it. Look for a land feature or something that sticks out.
And where I plan on setting mine next year when I do the bucket sets is near the dam crossovers. So I'll have the crossover set and I'll have bucket sets right next to them.
Okay.
Try to get a 2-for-1 out of them.
Well, on my big river, there's some spots that are slow water, you know what I mean? Really, really slow.
Yep.
And the buckets, they're dynamite in them spots.
Yeah, the big river I got running through my town. It's a little bit faster and it's up and down all the time because there's a dam about a quarter mile up from that culvert that I'm trapping. But those otter are in there, every 7 to 14 days. So I don't have to worry about finding them.
Yeah, they'll find you.
Yep. Make sure you look at the inside bend, Matt, and not the outside bend. Yeah, put a couple holes in the bucket. Put a rock down and wire a piece of fish down there. Set a conibear right in front of it. 220, 280, whatever will fit.
Yeah, tie the bucket with one wire and the trap with the other. Because if you tie the trap just to the pail, they might take off with it.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that'll work too, Matt.
Yep. Don't be afraid to use a 160. The otter I caught last weekend was in a 160, so it's not ideal, but for me, it's the biggest trap I can set on, biggest conibear I can set on land. But even a big 19, for me, a 19-pound otter is a pretty big otter for around us, and it took him out no problem. He didn't move, he didn't struggle. It was quick.
Oh yeah, 160 can kill them too.
Yep.
I painted some of my buckets for my raccoon sets, camouflage, just to keep people from stealing them, you know, when I set them on the side of the road.
Yep.
Yeah, 220 will fit in the bucket, Matt. 4-gallon ones and the 5-gallon ones.
Yep. Now, have you ever tried those circle conibears at all?
I had 2 of them, and I've never set them. They're still at home in the attic, I think. I don't like them whatsoever.
Because I don't have very many square buckets. And I was going to probably try to use one of those, but I don't know.
Yeah, but a 220 will fit in a 5-gallon round pail too.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Good.
Actually, a little big for it, but it'll fit.
Well, looks like I got some shopping to do. I don't have any 220s yet. I jumped from 110, 120s all the way up to 160 and then 280s and 330s.
Well, I get all my buckets up here at the restaurant, and I mean, I got to clean them out, you know, but they're free, so.
Exactly. I'll probably do that with my my grease buckets that I pick up. So bear bait, because I usually just toss them out afterwards. But
well, I'm sure one summer from the restaurant, I must have got at least 50 buckets.
cool. Yeah, that could be why, Don.
It doesn't matter desktop or laptop, Dawn.
Yeah, I'm running a laptop. Phone might be a little hard, but well, we got 12 in here. Only a couple people talking.
But the thing is, Dawn, if you don't try and learn how to do it, you'll never know how to do it. And a tablet. Yeah, but it doesn't matter if you got a phone, Dawn. I had one fall on a few nights here with a phone.
Well, if my tablet was charged, I'd run it and see if I could help you out, Dom, but I got no battery.
Well, that's pretty good, Matt. Did you call the DNR? I keep the woods full of cameras. I got 8 of them, and they're pretty well always out. Yeah, well, as long as he keeps his dog on a leash.
Well, if you got them on trail camera, that's evidence enough anyway, right there. If you don't want any more issues with it, I'd turn them into the DNR or fishing game, whatever you have where you are.
Well, you mean the newspaper boxes, they doing?
A lot of people use those for marten trapping, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little big for a 160 for fisher trapping, right?
I mean, they got them here, but they're expensive, and you gotta buy them. And I mean, every house has got their own tube for their newspapers, but I suppose if a fellow wanted to go collecting them some night, they'd never be seen again anyway. But
yeah. Maybe you can answer James's question there. Would the bucket set for auto work for mink as well in a small creek?
yes, they will. But if I was setting specifically for mink, I would try to get myself smaller boxes and use 120 traps.
Now, if you're using a floating box, would you put a 160 or a 120?
120.
120.
120 all the way up.
I built a couple weasel boxes this year, but I haven't seen any weasel sign or anything like that. I was just going to turn them into mink boxes for my 120s that I got.
I mean, boxes and everything, you know, they save time, eh?
Yeah.
You know, if every set you had to build it natural and had to use what you found out in the woods, it would take some time.
Oh yeah, like the Pennsylvania guy, that was on yesterday had to have his conibear set back 7 inches. It'd almost be worth doing a natural thing than it would be to build one like that.
Well, you know, Matt, I caught plenty of dogs in my time too, and I've never killed one of them, and not one of them was ever dead. Some of them were pretty wicked, mind you, but
The domestics always are, aren't they?
well, some were and some weren't, you know. But they seemed to understand that I was trying to help them.
Yeah. Now, how does it? I can't snare here on the ground. It's only for beaver and otter under the ice, and still being new at trapping, I'm not comfortable working with snares. I'd rather work with conibears right now. But how would it, do they not struggle? Do they see it as a leash? And that's why they just kind of.
Most times a domestic will just sit down, Once he knows he can't go nowhere, he'll sit down and he'll wait. It's pretty well what they all do, Matt. G'day, Dylan. Yes, I noticed you missed a few shows. Well, I'd like to get at least one other person on. A foot trap's completely different, Matt, when you catch a domestic.
Off the tracks near culverts. Kind of seems like that'd be coon trapping right there.
You never put up no new videos either, Dylan. I thought you said the other night you were working on one. I went and looked and there was nothing there. Yes, Mac. Raccoons den up in the wintertime.
Although this time of year, aren't they starting to move in the rut?
Yeah, they probably would be. Depending on states, like in Oregon, they never den up, They run all the time.
Yeah, over here for me, they end the middle of January, but people stop catching coons right around, the middle of December.
What the hell was the video about? You're not trying to put illegal content on the air, are you, buddy? But I'm glad you're back, Dylan. Nice to hear from you.
Is your channel set up to what is it? They have to take videos that are over 15 minutes.
Yeah, I think I can upload them up to 8 hours.
Yeah.
But that come by itself. I didn't ask for it or anything. And once you get over 1,000 subscribers, they send you a little banner and they welcome you and everything. But your YouTube channel page is not the same as it is when you're less than 1,000.
I still got a ways to go for that.
Yeah, but you'll get there slowly but surely.
Yep. We'll see.
All you gotta do is work on it.
Yep.
And the best thing of all is get out there and let people know who you are.
Exactly. Okay.
You're lucky, Matt. I mean, Dylan, that they let you do that with hardly any subscribers. You're very lucky.
Yeah, because with mine, I can't put anything over 15 minutes. I think unless I pay.
No, you got to ask them
Ah.
if you can do it.
Uh-huh.
And then they check out your channel and see what your videos are about. And
Well, with all the animal lovers out there, I'm sure us trappers have a hard time putting anything over 15 minutes on before we hit 1,000.
Well, tell you the truth, any video over 10 minutes has got to be really, really good for me to watch it.
Oh, yeah.
Because I just haven't got that much time, you know what I mean, to...
I myself tend to, only be able to stay focused 3 to 5 minutes, and that's how I kind of want to keep my videos. Short, sweet, simple.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it.
Just straight to the point. Don't beat around the bush. So, yeah, some might run a little longer, but for the most part, it's what I want to stay in that 3 to 5 minute window.
And like I say, it's got to be a good video for anybody to watch it any longer.
Yep. Yeah, there's hundreds of videos out there of, trapping and sets and catches and this and that. And, it all depends on where you are.
Yeah.
I'm in an area in the northeast of the states that not a lot of people have videos out on hardly anything. Most of the stuff's from, the Midwest, the South, Canada, Alaska, stuff like that. You just don't, there's certain parts of the country you don't see videos from.
But them videos, 30 minutes of just people talking. I can't take that, guys.
I was watching a couple of Stu's videos today. Don't get me wrong, I love his videos. They're awesome. His fur handling series has helped me out quite a bit putting my fur up, but some of his longer videos that he has, I got to fast forward through them a little bit to see him setting traps or, stuff like that.
Yeah, and he's got some long ones too.
Yep. I mean, the fur handling series isn't bad because he goes over everything step by step, and I understand that's going to take a while. So I don't mind watching those. I usually pause them until I get to that spot and then keep moving on from there.
Well, some people, Matt, is actually good at entertaining. You know, like the Wild North, there's something about these videos. I mean, anybody can do it, but it's just the way that he puts them together that makes them interesting. And the same thing with the Big Land Trapper. He's one of my favorite YouTubers.
I love watching the Wild North videos. They're wicked entertaining. I don't know if it's the accent or his anger management stuff, but he's a riot.
He is, yeah. Excuse me. He's good at what he does.
Very good.
But when he done an interview for the CBC radio, he said he went on YouTube looking for trapping videos to learn how to trap, and he couldn't find anything.
Huh. Hey, he was one of the first ones, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's one of the pioneers. He paved the road for the rest of us. He went through a lot of bullshit.
Oh, yeah. Still does, probably.
Yeah.
He does, man. He does get a lot of links. He puts up, 20, 30 links a year.
Yeah, he catches a lot of them. I said, Dylan, you're lucky that YouTube let you record videos more than 15 minutes. For your channel being so small. Is it cold there, Brian?
Yeah, it's 5 below with a wind chill of negative 35. Got a cold couple of days. And it's right back up in the 40s, so hopefully the water starts opening up.
My YouTube page froze up.
Uh-oh. Well, mine's still going pretty good, so. So here's that beaver I was talking about last night. All done up. Picked
Okay.
him up yesterday. He was a 51 pounder I caught a couple days after Thanksgiving. Came out good.
Yeah, it did. I got some in the freezer too.
Yeah, I got a couple legs in the freezer for coyote bait because fisher season's over for us.
I don't know to take the beaver out and flush them or wait the next year. Also got some mink and weasels in there too. A bunch of casters that I gotta make lure out of.
Yeah, I got 7 pelts in the freezer that once the weather starts warming up, I'll start fleshing and getting up on the board.
But the caster sold at FHA for $81 Canadian.
Yeah, it's about what, $60 American?
No, it's like 100.
Oh, really? Oh, that's right. Yeah. Wow, really that much? They were predicting 45 to 60 last month. Matt, that mount was 555, all said and done. It was 445 for the beaver, 35 for the teeth, and then 75 for the base. He's a local guy. He's only about 10 15 minutes away from me. And he does phenomenal work, and his prices are outstanding, too. I looked at a bunch of other places, and most places wanted $750 to $1,000 just to do the mount. That doesn't include the base or anything else. So,
yeah, taxidermy is expensive.
yeah. Yeah, in the year that fur is down, I figure it's okay to keep a pelt or two. I won't do too many full mounts, but plan on trying to keep one of everything. Except my fisher I caught this year. I sold her. I got a good price on her, so I couldn't pass it up.
Well, it's nice to keep one of each, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I went into my fur buyer, and I wasn't going to take any less than 40 for, and he offered me 45, which was right at the top end of what I thought they were going to be going for. So I ended up taking it, and I was there shopping for some traps anyway. So the little extra money didn't hurt at all, especially with the price of what traps are now.
Yeah, but the Dukes are still pretty cheap, eh?
Yep. Yeah, Dukes is. I bought a dozen MB 550s. The Dukes I buy are usually the 110s or #1 long springs and coil springs for, my muskrat floats and pocket sets and stuff like that. And I got a couple of Duke 330s too.
Yeah, I think Duke is all right in the 330s. I know I got some 160s in there. They're lovely traps.
Yeah, all my 160s except for the one Belial that I have are Dukes. So that's what took my fisher this year. So. And last year I caught both. I caught my fisher pair, male female, a couple days apart from each other, and both in Bridger 1 3/4.
Okay.
It was a fox coyote set I had set up, and within 6 days I caught the male female fisher pair and 9.5 pound red fox.
Well, that was all right.
Yeah, it was a pretty decent week. Middle of December, foot of snow on the ground. I couldn't complain.
I can't wait the next fall to get trapping again.
Yeah, I'll be trapping straight up through April. Most of my trapping stuff is all nuisance beaver, so I'm not doing a whole lot now, but
Okay, and you get to keep the beaver too, or what?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
I charge preseason and postseason, but not during the season. That way they don't feel like I'm double dipping them. So
And that's mostly what for private day, not the town or.
no, I don't charge the town, but the privates I do charge. I don't charge the town, one, because they don't like to pay, and two, because they get my name out there. I go in, do a good job for them, and if somebody else has a problem, they refer me to them. So
Well, I think it's minus 22 here tonight, if I'm not mistaken. To
no, James, I don't tan my beaver. I just had the one sent out for taxidermy, and the rest I have one on the board now, and the rest I got in the freezer, and I'll put them up on the board in the springtime and sell them.
I got a friend there is big in the tanning, and he wanted to tell me how to do it a few times, and I just never had the time to listen. But I would like to have a little beaver on an alder hoop, you know, tied with some babiche or something.
Yep.
I think that would look pretty cool.
I think if you don't want to do it yourself, USA Fox does it out in I think they're out in Minnesota. They do the hoops for $99.
Oh yeah?
Yep.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's not bad. I think they sell them for a couple hundred, but if you supply your own fur. James, I got a couple of 30-pounders, mostly 30 and 40-pounders, and the one I got up on the board right now is, I think he weighed out at 49 or 50 pounds, but he stretched out to 68 and a half inches.
Nice.
Yep, almost didn't fit on the board. And I caught him middle of December, and it's not prime at all. It turned blue overnight. And I think that was the latest one that I caught. It was middle of December. So all my other ones are going to be, all blue. So.
But for yourself, I don't think it makes a difference, really.
No,
You know,
I mean, I didn't get into it for the money, so.
I mean, not being prime just means that the fur is not as thick and heavy as it should be.
Yep.
You know. They make good seat covers too, Dawn, for your cars and your trucks and that. That's what my buddy makes them for.
Ah, that's interesting. I kind of want to get a pair of gloves made. Nice pair of mitts.
They would be warm.
Yep. Yeah, beaver trapping's a lot of fun.
Oh yes, I love it.
Yeah. I got into trapping to offset my coyote hunting, and this year I took to the water, and I don't think I'll ever look back. I love water trapping. You can do a whole lot more in half the amount of time with twice the success.
Yeah, well, it takes a lot of bad weather to put water trapping out of commission. It
Yep.
can be done, but chances are if you got sets, they're going to still keep catching, you know.
Yep. Especially them bottom edges. You get them in before the ice. Yeah, beaver and fisher. Those are my two animals that I love catching. Otters are fun to catch because they're our most profitable fur here, but I don't know. There's just something about beaver trapping that it got me hooked.
Yeah, it doesn't take much sometimes.
No. A lot of times I hit first night on them too, which is awesome.
Yeah, it is. And you're pretty well guaranteed to catch a couple beaver anyway, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's one, not the dam crossover in my videos, but there's another dam crossover. I've taken. I took that beaver that's mounted plus 3 others and 22-pound otter, all out of that same set. And that's just all bare minimal stuff. You just need your sticks to, to set your trap down and get it stabilized, and then couple over the top as, you would use as a dive stick in the water. I use them as just break up the outline of the trap, and it's game over.
That was a good spot. If you had a few more like that.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, you can make a whole line on them spots.
Yep, when the water opens back up, the culvert that I'm trapping, I'll have all 3 dams, the crossovers plugged up, and yeah.
Yeah, Don said his wife made him a pair of beaver mitts 5 years ago.
I see that. How are they, Don? They good? You still got them? Yeah, I found beaver are one of the easiest to trap as long as you don't educate them.
Well, when I took over my northern line, every beaver vet there was educated. They were scared right to death. You couldn't sit anywhere near the house or the dams. And little by little, I caught them all. Different kind of trapping than what I was used to.
Yeah. Matt, I did have a 330 in front of the culvert because I can't place traps in the culvert in my state or under bridges. But when the water was high enough, I did have a 330 right there. And then the water went down, and it's actually frozen over now. So you can see where they're sliding under the fence. that the town had put in front of the culvert. So I put a 160 there today. James, I go 280 and 330, whatever fits for where I need to have the trap.
Yeah, they're both good traps.
And most of the time I set the dam crossovers. I will do some takeouts and use little caster mounds. Or if it's a real active takeout, I'll just put a trap there and cover, disguise it a little bit. But I've had more success on the dam crossovers than anything else.
Yeah, they're pretty well a guaranteed set,
Yeah.
Even if I can get to the house and set all the channels, and there is a good dam crossover, I'll go set that crossover too.
Yep.
Just in case. Because it is nice when you go in the morning to check your traps and you can catch all that you want to take out of that colony and move on.
Yeah.
Then you can keep your traps moving and keep your catches up.
And I find with my crossover sets, when I make a catch, I don't reset right away. I let it go a couple of days to let them get used to going back and forth again without having the trap there. And then, after 3 to 7 days, I'll go back and reset it. And the next day I'll come in and, within a day or two, I'll have another beaver or an otter. So.
I try to check my beaver sets every day, early in the morning, because I find they start chewing on each other a lot if you leave them any amount of time.
Yeah. I say I have a check law that's every calendar day, so I have to check my traps every day. I work nights, so it's easier for me to do it in the morning. And then under ice is every 3 days, but I'm greedy. So if I got something first night, I want my traps to still be running and not to just be sitting there.
Okay.
Ray wants to know what advice for educated beaver.
Well, you can go first if you want.
Well, I actually have one educated beaver on my line. And I have tried everything to try to catch this beaver. Changed up different stuff, the dam crossovers, setting channels, everything. And I've come into snap traps almost every time. The only thing I haven't tried yet is the dam run set, not the house run set that I'm actually going to go set this weekend and give it a shot. So just mixing it up and trying to disguise things. I mostly trap conibears. I just got my first Bridger number 5 long spring. A buddy of mine gave to me. So this spring when it opens up, I'm going to try doing a drowning set like that. See if that works.
And what I would say, Ray, is a good size foot trap, like a number 3, 4, or 5 on the dam under 1.5 to 2 inches of water, and you'll catch your educated beavers. But stay away from the houses and the dams with conibears if they're educated with a conibear.
I'm not sure if I can shoot them, West Virginia, and I try not to put any kind of holes in my fur at all. The only animal I do shoot when I have it in the trap is a coyote, because they don't. They take a little bit.
No, I don't shoot beavers either. I find they're too easy to catch in traps. But I mean, if I wanted one for supper or something one night.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure in my state you have to have permission from Fish and Game.
Now, do you, Brian, make custom rifles there where you work, or?
No, I just work for a, just normal firearms manufacturer, one of the big ones in the States.
Okay.
Nothing really custom. Come out with new stuff all the time. We're not really a custom shop at all. Just line manufacturing stuff.
I know when I was looking for a good scope for my rifle, I went on the internet and I asked on one of the gun forums that was on, and they all said the same thing: the Bushnell Elite and the Loophole VX 1, 2, and 3 series.
Yep, those are pretty good series, but they're on the expensive side.
Yeah. So anyway, I got the Elite, and I'm sure you could beat on that scope with a hammer, and you couldn't put it off.
Oh, probably not.
It's got to be the toughest scope there ever was that I've had.
Yeah, I on most all of my rifles I run Nikon. So it's a middle of the road price point. It's a good quality scope. I run the Pro Staff, so like the middle of their of what they have, and then one of the new rifles I picked up this year. I picked up a 44 mag rifle. I put a Redfield 2-7 power on it because it's a lot of woods hunting here, and I'm not going to shoot over 50 yards anyway most of the time. So
okay.
Yeah, Redfield's a lot of. They used to be big back in the day, and then they just kind of dropped off, and then Loophole bought them out, and their quality went right back up. So.
But I mean, sometimes you can get a good one on the cheaper side,
Oh, definitely. And with my company, we have, not only do we have a discount through, I can buy guns from them, 40 to 60% off, but we also do deals with other companies for bows and crossbows and scopes, ammo, stuff like that. So. It's not a bad gig at all. But the downside is we can either choose to, if we want to buy a gun, we can choose to pay for it up front, or we can have them take a percentage out of our check every week. And it gets pretty dangerous after a while, because then you just keep losing money out of your check.
Yeah. But you only need so many guns too. That's my way of thinking anyway. I don't know about other people, but.
Well, yeah, here in the States, you got guys who got, collections of a couple hundred guns, or, 30 to 50 guns. I think I have 10 to 12, and every single one of them serves a purpose, between carrying and, 22s to plink with, or carry out on the trap line, and then my hunting rifles. I got my 44 for deer hunting and bear hunting. I have a 300 Win Mag for moose. So
Well, I had 30-06 and the 308, and I ended up buying a 270.
yep. I grew up shooting 308. So
And, 270 here in North America will kill any big game animal with the right bullet placement.
yep, definitely. My nephew took his first deer this year with a 22 250. So any gun will work. Don said he'd be broke if he had my job. Yeah, I flirt with it sometimes, Don.
Well, I had too many one time, Don. And what I mean by too many, when you can't take them all with you, you know.
Yes, Steve. Someone said guns. Good old Steve's in the chat now.
I sent you a link there earlier, Steve. Dave Bandit.
Well, maybe Steve will get in there with us. Well, I ended up locking my dog into the spare bedroom when I went to show everyone the beaver. I thought I heard some scratching. There it is.
I see in the new hunting paper out there, they got the Remington 710 in, I think, 4 or 5 different calibers with a 3x9x40 scope for $400.
Oh, wow. Yeah, a lot of the gun companies are doing that now. They're taking their budget line guns, throwing a scope on it, and doing it as a package. Remington's just getting in the game with it. Ruger's been doing it. They were doing it with a Redfield for a minute, and then they switched it up. Come on. And then Savage has also been doing it for a while, too. The Savage Axis series and the Ruger American series. And what it seems like is Savage and Ruger sell a ton of them. So it was only a matter of time before Remington got into it, too.
Well, I got the Savage 270, but mine's got sights on it too. But
Yep.
mine was 700, you know, not 400.
Yeah.
And she's killed a lot of animals, and she's as dead on as, well, dead on can be.
Yep. Bandit asked, what's a good fleshing knife?
Well, I made my knife out of an old planer blade back when I was 15 or 16 years old, and I've had it ever since. But from looking at videos on YouTube, I say the Necker 600 is a very, very good fleshing knife.
Yep. I use a post fleshing knife, double edge. Well, it's got the cutting edge and a pushing edge on it.
I don't do emails, Dawn. Because I can't remember passwords.
Yes, West Virginia, Camel Crushes.
Yeah, and they're probably, what, $2 a pack down there?
No, they're $6 a pack.
6? Holy fuck.
Yeah, cigarettes are expensive down here. They get taxed to hell, and every year it goes up.
I thought ours were bad at 10, but
when I was coming back, this was 12, 13 years ago, when I lived over in Germany for a year. When I came back, I bought a pack of cigarettes in New York City to split with a buddy of mine, and we paid $14 for that pack of cigarettes.
yeah, well, I paid 16 on the Maritimes for them too when I was stuck. And that's a lot of money in the States for a pack of cigarettes, Steve.
Yeah, but if you go down south, South Carolina, Virginia, they're $3.50 for a pack. Or they used to be. When I was in the Army, we had guys who would take trips down south to go home and then come back with cartons upon cartons of cigarettes for cheap. Oh, Bandit, I bought a vaping setup to try to quit smoking, but vaping's still smoking to me, so I stuck with cigarettes because it was a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, and that's for me is the only luxury I have, so.
Yeah. Vaping got big here a couple years ago, and now they're actually starting to ban. Some places are starting to ban vaping where you can, where there's no smoking.
Yeah, it was big here for a while too, and I think the one thing cost $12 or something.
Yeah. Yeah, dips. The dip's cheaper here too, West Virginia, but I never got into dipping at all. He's saying Copenhagen was, $5-10. or $5 for a can or a roll. Roll is 5. Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
Well, dipping's a pretty big thing here too. Mind you, it's expensive.
Yeah. Any kind of tobacco is expensive.
I think it's $12 for a little pack of chew, 50 grams or whatever the fuck. You know.
Wow. I got a lot of friends here who they smoke American Spirits because of the they don't add chemicals or anything like that. But where I'm paying $6 for a pack of cigarettes, they're paying $8.50, $9 for a pack.
Still too expensive for something that grows out of the ground, though.
Yep.
And don't you young fellas ever start smoking either.
No, it's expensive and it's not healthy. What's up, Grizz?
Hey, Dean. Did your snow all go, Dylan?
Yeah, that was me last night, Dean. Watching the good old talk online at work during my lunch hour.
Yeah, you do right, Bandit.
Well, I just had a buddy of mine come down with cancer from dipping, but he dipped for 30 years. So it ain't a be all end all.
Let's see, I'm going to have to clean my computer out, too.
Windows computer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I run a Mac. I don't have to do any cleaning. I've had this computer for, I don't know, 6 years now, and it starts up and runs and does everything like the day I bought it.
That's good.
Yeah. Dawn, I run Bridger 1 3/4, and I love them. I think they're a good trap, especially, I mean, they're owned by Minnesota Trapline. So they always put out a good quality trap. I own both Bridger 1 3/4 and MB 550s, and I interchange them all the time.
I got a dozen of number 2 Bridgers. I don't know if they're a heavier trap than the 1 3/4, but they're a heavy trap.
Yeah, I think they're a little bit bigger than the 1 3/4.
Yeah, they are.
The next step.
Square jaw, eh? I think the 1 3/4 is round jaw.
No, it's a square jaw.
Square jaw too?
Yep. The 1.5s are a round jaw, and I do think they sell 1.5 as a square jaw too.
Yeah, I got a dozen when I was down on the border. I think $11 a piece he charged me for them or something like that. It wasn't too bad.
Nope.
Good fox traps.
Yep. Yeah, I last year I took 3 foxes and 2 fisher out of my 1 3/4 traps. And this year, the only land catch I've made, the 2 land catches, I made a coon, nice 22-pound male boar raccoon and a Duke DP, and 29-pound female coyote and MB 550 and a blind trail set. Those are my only 2 land catches this year. Everything else has been water.
Yeah, you done good on the water.
Yep. 9 beaver, 3 otter.
Well, Steve, I find the round jaw and the square jaw got their place. But I've learned to get fussy over the years.
And with me, I have half a dozen of the Bridger 1 3/4 and a half a dozen of the MBs that are ready to use. So I just whatever is available for me to use, I just run with whatever trap. The dozen I just bought last month, they're outside right now, getting a coat of rust on them for next year.
And you can sell your furs once a week or any day at all, or
Anytime I can make it up to my fur buyer,
okay.
who happens to own the trap and supply store. I have to tag fisher and otter. Those are the only 2 animals I have to tag. I get the sites or cities tag or whatever for the otter, and New Hampshire has their own tag for the fisher. And it's the only 2 animals we actually have limits for here.
The best paying ones.
Yep. They are trying to get a bobcat season open right now, but they stopped it in '89 when the numbers were way down, and the same with the turkeys. The turkeys were way down too, and now both have come back up. The turkeys didn't stay off the books too long, but the bobcat have stayed off since '89, and they're trying to get it back on. There's a lot of pushback though.
Well, our bobcat season has been closed, oh Christ, I think 28 years now. And for what I see, we have all kinds of them.
Yeah, we have tons of them. Every single place that I have, whether it be a set where I'm water trapping or land trapping, there's at least 1 bobcat there. And a couple of my spots, I have multiple, 3, 4.
Steve, anybody have trouble with the Duke 1 3/4 offset with the pan getting stuck under the spring levers? Don't know. I don't own any 1 3/4. It's up to you, Brian.
I don't own any Duke 1 3/4. The only ones I have are the number 1 coil springs, and I use them from muskrat floats and mink for pocket sets. But I haven't had any problem with them. They were good right out of the box.
Well, I go over every new trap, just to make sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I do the same. I set them all to make sure that the pans are all sitting flat and pan tension's right about where I want it. So
Because it is a tool, and if you can modify that tool a little bit to your Don says he does a lot of water trapping too.
yep. What are you primarily trapping on that creek, Don? The mink muskrat? No, Ray. I don't have to turn in the carcass. I have to. What my state requires is that I call within 10 days of season end to get the. For me being a trapper and dealing, with the fur, I have to at least get the fur tagged. We do have a hunting season for Fisher, so I don't know how they go about getting tagged, if it's whole body or just the fur. I don't know anybody who shoots Fisher around here, so most of the time we just get the fur done, and they tag it through the eye. And with the otter, if you don't put a wooden dowel in one of the eye holes, they close up pretty tight, and you'll end up having to make a cut in the fur so they can get the tag through it.
And we don't have to turn any Fisher carcasses in, any carcasses for that reason.
No, I use a lot of my carcasses for baits anyway. We can have bait piles. I can't set within 50 feet of an open bait pile, but if I put some logs and leaves over it, or if I cover it, then I can set a trap right up next to it.
Yeah. I have a log Jennifer. She has kits. Last year, mother got hit this spring.
Yeah, we have a lot of that in New Hampshire. A lot of bobcat getting hit by cars. More actually, I think this past year was more bobcats than deer getting hit, and those are just reported cases. Those aren't, there's probably quite a few that don't get reported. And the way they're going about to try to bring it back is they want to do 50. Ray, I'm from New Hampshire, and it's my second year trapping, actually. But they want to do 50 tags for the bobcat via lottery, and split the state up and have so many per area, and then from there you're going to have to tag a bobcat. Once you get your tag or get drawn and you accept it, it's $100 for the tag, which is going to, for the trappers at least, it's going to shy a lot of them away to pay $100 tag for a $30, $35 cat.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And they want to split it up, half hunting, half trapping. And trapping will be December, and hunting will be in January. You can run dogs. I read through the bill the other day. You will be able to run dogs for them, but you can't run more than 2 dogs. You can't night hunt for them because coyote night hunting for us is January to March. So you won't be able to night hunt for them. I'm not 100% sure if you can hunt them over bait. There's just a lot of restrictions that are going to go with it. And trapping seems like it's going to be the way to be able to take the most bobcat.
Yeah, but 50 tags are going to get filled pretty quick.
I have a doubt. I have a big doubt about that. Yeah. Not a lot of people in this state run dogs. Yeah, you get some who run bear, but since bobcat hunting's been banned since '89, nobody runs dogs for the cats anymore. So next door in Maine and Vermont, they both have bobcat season. So unless someone from out of state comes in and brings their own animals, brings their own dogs in. So they're guessing 40%, 40 to 50% is what they want to accomplish.
I know our lynx here, they go up and down. One year is 4 we're allowed to catch, and another year is 1. And I mean, there seems to be all kinds of them, but you got to listen to the biologists,
Yeah.
They're supposed to know what they're talking about. And I got to grab a pop.
Steve, what are you saying? The bendy edge of the oval pan with the vice grips? Yeah. My Bridgers last year got kind of beat up, and I had to bend the pans back to normal. The Duke ones with the oval pan on it, yeah, I kind of had to bend them a little bit to get them even a little bit. But I just I like the Minnesota brands with the Pazza, what was it, Pan? Or the Pazza Trap. I think it's the Pan system that they have.
Yeah, I watched a video on that. The guy done all these traps over with the new Positrip pan. And
yep. Is that the Management Advantage guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got the old Victor traps.
I think he said they're like $4 a piece in the States for the pan and the dog.
I don't know. See what Minnesota has. Trap parts. Coral Spring. So with the Pan MB 550. So with the MB 550 replacement pans, they're $1.98 a piece, and the replacement dogs are 95 cents a piece.
It's $3.
Yeah. And I like the dog system. They use the round jaw, the round dog with the night latch already cut into it. Those MB 550s are awesome.
Yeah, in the video he showed it up close and personal, so you could see exactly what was going on.
Yeah. Yeah, they're perfect right out of the box. They're set to 2.5 pounds, 3 pounds. You basically don't have to touch them. And with the cast jaws, you don't have to worry about laminating them. They're a little bit more expensive, but I think I paid $204 for my a dozen for my 2-coil offsets.
But a trap is good for a lifetime if you take care of it, you know.
Oh, definitely. Yep, exactly, Gary. The dogs are definitely solid. When I came up on my coyote this year, she was actually chewing on the dog, and took her out and was able to reset the trap, and it was no problem. Still fired normal. Because after I make a catch, I set it and make sure everything and set it off to make sure everything fires fine, and it didn't move at all. It was great.
But they need to build them heavy duty, you know, for
Yep.
that reason.
Exactly.
I got 2 number 5 long springs I bought at the yard sale this summer, and I find the jaws triple thin on them. So I'm going to have to laminate them.
Yep.
Use them for beaver.
Yep. Gary, the adjusting the pan tension, poundage. If you get the Minnesota catalog at all, it'll show you in the back how to adjust the pan system and adjusting the dog, and it's just basically putting a bend in the dog to loosen up the pan tension if you want. You can also bend the whole back piece if you want to push it up or back. Yeah, I've been looking at the Sleepy Creeks, Steve, but I haven't bought any yet. The Trap and Supply store here in New Hampshire isn't. He doesn't sell them. He sells Bridger, Dukes, Minnesotas, and Victors mostly. So anything other than that, I have to order. I like going to him because he deals with Tim Caven and his family up in Minnesota. So basically anything in the Minnesota website that I want to get, I can get over at his place. So yes, made in the US.
The only 2 dogless traps I've got done are them number 5 long springs.
And I've been taking a look at those number 2s and number 3 Bridger dogless ones to look at giving them a try too. Looks like a bigger pan for a bigger kill area, but those, like I said, with the Minnesotas, they have a nice decent pan. So now, do you run pan covers at all, Timber, or underalls or anything like that?
Yeah, I use pan covers. I use wax paper mostly and screen.
Yeah. I use a trapper's cap and 50-50 mixture of peat moss and dry dirt that I make myself. So, and it's all pre-sifted before as they're going into the bucket. So when I get there, I don't have to do any extra sifting at all. I just pour the dirt over the trap and pack it down and move on to the next one. Anything to save a couple of seconds.
The only thing about peat moss, I find it too spongy.
That's why I mix it with the dirt, so I get the waterproofing and I can still pack it down. I get a good pack out of it. I'll have to look at that, Steve. I do check PCS. I check all the trap and supply stores to before I go to make a purchase to see who's got the best deal on whatever out there. So I'll have to look at them on PCS. I know Minnesota has like sampler packs. If you ever look at their kits or whatever, they have like beaver sampler packs with some footholds and some conibears, and they have I know they do have a dogless setup too. They also have lure packs for beavers and raccoons and coyotes and fox and all that good stuff too. So you see that from South Carolina? The what a 1.5 Bridger coil spring work on beaver.
I wouldn't use it, no. Nothing less than number 3.
Yeah. Yeah, see, a 1.5 wouldn't even fit a back leg in on a beaver. I think a 1.5 isn't even strong enough. I think you'd be able to pull out even on a front pag catch.
Yeah, you don't want to go educating your beaver.
Definitely not. I think your best bet, Carson, is to go get a Duke 330 or 280. You can get them right around $18-20. It's not a bit, it's not a big chunk of change to spend, and it's a trap that you'll be able to be comfortable taking a beaver with.
Well, you must have small coyotes down there, Carson. Last coyote I weighed was 72 pounds, and a 1.5 will not hold them.
Yep, Steve said he did good on beaver with a Duke number 3 and 4.
And I think Duke also makes the number 5 long spring, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, only half the size.
I don't know what happened, but I'm back now.
Didn't even notice you were gone.
Yeah, something happened.
Oh, really? 1.5 is the largest you can use.
I'd check your laws, Carson. 1.5 might be the largest on land, but with beaver, it's in water. So I'd double check on that. Yep. Timberline Duke does have a number 5 long spring beaver special.
I thought so.
7.5-inch jaw spread.
Nice trap.
Yep. Expensive for a Duke though.
Well, here you're going to pay $30 for a number 3 long spring, so
Yeah, that's about what that one is. $30 US. Steve, this is one I was talking about here on. I'm looking at it on Minnesota. Bridger Douglas sampler pack. It's 2 number 2 offsets and 2 number 3 offsets. 1 regular, 1 modified of each, and so it's a 4-pack of traps. $57. Not too terrible for a little starter for coyote and fox.
excuse me.
Uh, 5 3/4. Is that inside or outside spread, Carson? Five and 3/4 on the inside. 5 3/4 inside, you can run a big trap. Just trying to look at some of these. You could probably run a number 2 Bridger. So let me check it.
I think a number 3 long spring is 4 7/8.
A number 2 Bridger is 5 1/8 inside jaw. And a regular number 3, 6 1/16. So you could run a Bridger number 2. Yeah, and a number 3 double long spring. So there's a whole bunch of choices there for you. Yeah, if you go on the Trappin websites, Minnesota or PCS or whatever I can't, there's a couple of them out there. I can't think of them all. They should all tell you what the inside and outside jaw spreads are.
Well, you can make your own bait, Bandit, with beaver or muskrat or anything like that. Just taint it a little bit so it's got a little bit of a smell to it.
I use commercial baits. I use what do I use? I use Caven's Hiawatha. That one's got a pretty strong scent to it, and the Predator Bait Plus from Caven's too. I like the Plus over the regular because it's got that skunk essence to it.
I mean, most baits, it's $10 a bottle, but it goes a long ways.
It does.
And my supplier, every time I spend $100, he gives me a $10 gift. So I usually get bait for nothing.
It's not a bad deal.
Well, that'd be good, Don, but I don't need too much more.
And Ray, that wasn't really a starter pack. That was just a sampler pack. They have a couple of starter packs on there. Carson says he has the raccoon package. They have that one, and then they have the raccoon package that's up for 188, and then they have the Predator starter, which is 141. And when I started trapping, that's what I got was the Predator starter. Came with half a dozen Bridger 1 3/4 with chain and stake attached, a stake driver, sod buster, trowel, sifter, pack of logwoods, dye, Dobbins Lancet book. Then it came with Minnesota Predator bait, Red Fox urine, Red Fox gland lure, and Caven's Violator 7, which is the Violator 7 is actually one of my favorite lures to use. It's got a lot of it's got a nice caster smell to it.
No, Steve, I don't think I'll ever be able to set all the traps I have.
Yeah, Bandit 1.5. 1.5 would work. Is good for fox. Better for grays, but you'll hold a red in a 1.5.
I would say a number 2 because I always got the chance of catching a coyote. And
yep. That's why, unless I'm specifically targeting coyotes, I always make everything set up with Red Fox urine or gland lure or something like that. Otherwise, I'll use the coyote gland and coyote urine. Best way to trap beaver.
Well, like for me, the dam crossovers and the channels going in the house.
Yep. For me over here in New Hampshire, I do dam crossovers and takeouts, and so every once in a while, if I get a takeout that's next to a caster mound, I'll make my own. I'll put a little caster mound in there, but I like using the caster smell to get the beavers to come into where I want them to come in. So.
You know, I've trapped thousands of beaver and I've never ever used lure to catch one. Never had to.
Yeah. The nice thing about beaver lure is it doesn't stink. It actually smells good. So.
Yeah. Oh, I love the smell of castor.
There you go, Carson. I think James just found you your trap. Your number three Sleepy Creek. 5 3/8 on the inside. It's got to be a decent sized pond to have a dozen in there.
Yeah, there must be a couple houses.
Yeah.
Most I've ever got was 9.
Yeah, that'd be big enough to hold a couple colonies, 8-9 acres. Yeah, find the runs into the houses this time of year. Those are your best bet, especially under ice. Or you could do a baited snare pole. But I don't know if you have open water or not, Carson, but this time of year, probably down south would be about the time they're going to start mating and fighting. So using your caster sets would work too. You know, Chris is here with his beaver comments.
Carson, you asked me what if a 1.5 trap was no good, and I said it's not. No, end it. You'll go in there and you'll scare them beavers so bad they'll have to call me to go down and catch them. And I got a lot of places to stop at in the States because everybody wants to buy me breakfast. So I'm going to be down there for a while.
No. Oh, just call me NH. Yeah, exactly, Chris. A lot of the beaver I caught this year are all scarred up from previous years. No new bite marks, but a lot of scarring on the back and on the tail.
I don't think we're allowed to shoot beaver. I don't think so. I've never seen it in any of the regulations.
I'm not sure what it is down in my state.
But I mean, you know, when you're 100 miles back in the woods and there's nobody around, that's a different story too. But
Yeah,
that's not something I'd put on a video.
no, definitely not. What do we got? What do we got? Fur bears.
I'll go check it out later, Dylan.
Now, do you have to turn in a reporting form
No,
for what you trap throughout the year?
no, I don't.
I have to do it for me. For my fur, for trapping season, I have to do it by April 30th, and for my wildlife control operator license, I have to do it by June 30th.
I mean, one year they wanted us to record all the marten catches, the males and the females and all that stuff. But that was, oh Christ, 12 years ago when it was only a one-time thing.
Yeah. Oh, fur bear trapping. It is unlawful too. No, it's unlawful for me to interfere with dams or houses of beaver without obtaining a special permit. Cannot set a body gripping trap with an inside jaw greater than or equal to 6.5 inches on the ground unless it's in the water for beaver or otter or more than 5 feet off the ground or surface of the snow. Can't trap within 15 feet of a muskrat house. Can't trap within 50 feet of exposed bait. But it does not say anything about shooting beaver. We have hunting date for coyote, fisher, fox, possum, skunk, raccoon, mink, muskrat, and weasel. We have hunting seasons for them, but nothing on beaver.
I know I never seen it in our regs either, and I keep updated on them pretty well in case they change something.
Yeah. Yeah, and the association does a pretty good job of sending out emails to us too.
Well, I never see game wardens. I haven't seen any in years.
Well, see, for us, I have to go out and get permission for all the lands that I hunt, or not hunt, but trap. So I have to get landowner permission for everything. We do every 2 years. There's state land that you can put in for to get permits for that you don't need permission for, as long as you obtain it through this like lottery drawing that they have. But so I have to get all this permission and send a copy to the game wardens, and they can come out and check my sets and give me a call and want to see what I'm doing. So,
but I think a lot of the states are like that. You got to have permission or you can't trap.
Yeah, as far as I know. Now, do you have to pay for your line up in Canada?
No, I can trap on the crown land, or I can lease the land.
Oh, okay.
But when you lease the land, you got to catch a minimum number of animals, and if you don't catch that minimum number, you don't get it the next year.
Uh-huh. So is it kind of like what Kirk has to go through?
No, Kurt has got a registered line in Ontario.
Uh-huh.
Ontario is completely different than Quebec.
Oh, you're over in Quebec. Uh-huh. Always wanted to go up there and do a caribou hunt.
Yeah, it's not that expensive either. I think it's $1,500, and you get two.
Yeah, something like that. But of course, when you're coming from the States, you have to go with an outfitter.
I suppose. Anyway, guys, we're going to shut this here down in a few minutes. Brian, if you would stay on.
Yep, no problem.
Any last questions, guys? Or anything? 2 hours and 15 minutes into it.
No, Don, I don't work for the county. I kind of freelance it. I just go to the road agents and just tell them, hey, I'm a trapper and looking for land to trap. If you guys have nuisance, most of the time it's nuisance beaver that they deal with, that I go in. So, and it helps that I tell them that I don't charge, because everybody likes free.
But I know here in the last few years with the awful fur prices, the beaver, there's getting to be a lot of them.
Yeah.
I remember my first fur check that I got back from NAFA when I was, I think, 15 years old. When I opened up the envelope and I looked at the top, you know, beaver $80, beaver $78. I said, holy Christ, they sent me somebody else's check. You know, it can't be mine. Impossible.
Yeah, I haven't actually sold to an auction house yet, so I've just gone through a local fur buyer.
But I mean, I gathered up 40 some traps. I don't know if it was 41 or 49, but I ended up making like $2,300, you know.
Yep.
It was good money.
Oh yeah.
I see, Dylan, you're drinking again. Anyway, guys, like I said, we're going to shut this down. We will see you all later on.
Take it easy, guys.
Good night, everybody.